Tobacco from Malawi, one of the world's poorest countries, can be found in cigarettes sold across Europe, Asia and America. But while consumers in richer nations may be choosing to risk their health, Malawi's child labourers, driven by poverty into the tobacco fields, are being forced to pay a dreadful price.
Nane chef dewesh. Jaka 12. Standard 4. Pata wera skuru nkuta kunyumba na ukarga sima. Pa narga sima nkuta kumunda tampata foja na ukatunga. Pata kumunda tukapata pata mbwetu katunga pata tunga tampaika.
Smoking kills. It's not only killing you, the smoker, but it's also killing most people that are involved in production of that cigarette that you are smoking. It's killing those people who are handling it in production. And it's killing their hopes, their dreams. So their very dignity is being terminated by this production of the cigarette that ends up on the market in the West.
Many of the cigarettes smoked in Europe and the US contain tobacco from Malawi, the 5th largest producer in the world. But in Malawi itself, 80,000 children are paying for this addiction, forced by extreme poverty into illegal labor that can cause poisoning and disease. Shepherd lives with his family in northern Malawi, the center of the country's tobacco industry. During the rainy season, he cuts, picks up and sorts leaves for hours every day. By his side, his sister Jessie and other village children. They're between 9 and 14 years old. Shepherd's father, Lemond, owns 2 hectares of land. He started growing tobacco, thinking it would bring in more money than traditional food crops. But his dreams quickly turned sour.
Ndine ngamba kulima hona pa 2009. Ya ifoja nda kusuzako ndrama zosanga zidoko kweneleba iko ikuru shomeni. Ya so kulimbikisika waka utakambwe kwange tuzgovera kwene ndama zosanga.
Growing tobacco is very labor intensive. 3 times more people are needed to produce the crop than for corn. But the returns are so small, farmers say it's only economical to produce using child labor.
Kai munda wane tani 14 tugura chitopano iseta na rume taume tilipo 4 azimai ndo mbanandi kwaana naona kama azimai kwene azimai yao njito nja kupataka hona na kutunganga. Ine ndine ngawasambiza wana wana kuti pa utunga hona titungenge linai kwene pa kuyamba limoza kumtima mbele nambara 2 kumsana nambara 3 kumtima na nambara 4 kumsana kuti lingatapatanga pata ikangala mtepi. Yeah. So uyu mwana wakasambira ika 2010. Uyu wasambira mdoko uyu mlala wakasambira 29.
In Malawi, it's supposedly forbidden for children under the age of 14 to work. But for Shepherd's mother, Josepha, it's the only way to sustain the family.
Madaza kugiranga njito shomene likubanga la chisulu lambula kusukurusha azakanuvire kutunga. Ndesomanga kufuma kusukuru nzakuba chema kuti wakanuvire komwe mtu andarama nkuvapa. nkumba kuti malingana lapsa ngeri ngafinjira liwiro mugafa kuti paki ningasanga puka profit kuti nasangire kugula sima pamangani ngalimbira kuti neka nichite kwene kula gwambwe vinyake vivenge vatapatira mwene mula mu makuni mula mbweni kuti mwero siwenge ina ndishomeni.
So the tobacco industry definitely here in Malawi, as much as it is contributing to the country, as much as it is a good thing that Malawi has something to export, but for most people that are really involved in the tedious job of producing that, they are really trapped in poverty and they have no way out, and it is impoverishing them hugely.
Malawi is one of the poorest countries in the world and relies on tobacco for almost 70% of its export earnings. Companies such as British American Tobacco and Philip Morris, makers of some of the world's best-selling cigarette brands, take advantage of this dependency, loaning money to peasant farmers for fertilizers and pesticides, specifically to grow tobacco. But a bag of fertilizer costs around $15, a small fortune in a country where few earn more than $1 a day. Josefa got a loan to buy 6 of them this year. To pay it back, the family now has no choice but to grow tobacco rather than food. The family produces nearly 1,500 kilos of tobacco. But once they've paid the loans back, they're left with only $200 a year. Grandparents, parents and children all live under the same roof, without water and electricity. But each year, encouraged by the tobacco industry, they believe a better life will be possible. The situation is even worse for those who don't own any land. Tenants who lease a small plot have to sell their tobacco crop to plantation landlords for tiny sums of money or for food and accommodation. At the bottom of the production line, tenant farmers like Swafi are the biggest victims of the system.
In 2004, nabwerera ntchito yolima fodya kuti mwina mwake tingaone kukusintha tumpha mwina ngakhale ngati wachepako sizinasinthe kwenikweni. Basi sinanga ntchito imene tazolowera nditi ndiomwe ndiye kusukulu so sitinapite mokwanira ndiye kuti tikagwira ntchito zakumene kuzikuoneka ngati nzovutirako kusiyana ndi yafodya sinanga ndi imene tazolowera. Mgwirizano wathu tinamgwirizana zoti tilime munda tikalima tikatulusa mabero mpapena sopano patakhale kukambirana sopano kuti apapa tipanga bwanji. Timaziwa titayamba kugereda kuti mitengo ku auction kuja ikatuluka nawonso mabwana pamene amakhala ndi mphamvu zoti atipase nafenso mitengo. Zikakhala kuti zayenda bwino pachaka timapeza be ka 50 or ka 40 ndalama zonse zimabwera ngati za banja.
6 people in the family will have to live off that $100. It means that even the small children have to work to make the most of the rented land. For the landowner, of course, the advantage is clear. It allows production costs to be kept to a minimum. But on some of the big plantations, it also leads to other exploitation.
First of all, there's poor working and living conditions of the tenants. There is some cheating in terms of selling, the landlord buying the product from the tenants, which is not regulated. And then there's the sexual abuses in the tenants or in the estates. We also have some subtle human trafficking, which means the people, when they're taken from the place or where they live to the estates, normally it's done by night and sometimes with the middlemen who do the negotiations.
NGOs say the authorities are turning a blind eye to such problems for the sake of the national economy. But tobacco growing doesn't just have socioeconomic consequences. It also puts the health of the farmers and their families in jeopardy. Constant handling of tobacco leaves without protective clothing means that toxic doses of nicotine can be absorbed through the skin. According to the World Health Organization, children are especially vulnerable to a condition known as green tobacco disease, which causes dizziness, nausea, headache, and muscular weakness. The condition is widespread in Malawi. Farmers are also exposed to possible neurological problems caused by the use of pesticides and fertilizers, some of which are so harmful that they are prohibited from sale in developed countries. But farmers like Lemon have little idea of the risks they and their family are running. To find a doctor with any knowledge of green tobacco disease, we have to drive 150 kilometers south to meet a Dr. Chimbeteti. He's working in a private hospital in Kasangu, in the middle of the tobacco plantations.
I've been working here almost 15 years. To say the truth, these people, they are not aware. Because if they were aware, they could have realized that the problem they are getting from this type of farming or this type of grading tobacco, like coughing, sneezing, runny nose, headache, and general body pains, they could have realized that this is a bad type of crop that we are growing. I think we as clinicians, it's our time to say this to them. There's no way we can keep quiet, not telling them the truth. But you know the problem in Malawi, we say tobacco, there's a lot of money.
The harmful effects of tobacco extend through the production chain. After harvesting and drying, the raw leaves must be stored into packages. Men, women, and children of all ages work in enclosed spaces, such as this one, for hours a day. The air, heavy with tobacco particles, is noxious. This young woman has been coming here with her baby for 2 weeks. She earns less than $1 a day. Shepherd is getting ready for school. School attendance isn't as high as it should be. Although primary education is free, class numbers fluctuate according to the growing season.
So the number has decreased. There are some parents who are sometimes having too much work, more especially on picking tobacco leaves. They can be forced sometimes not to go to school. Sometimes they are facing a shortfall of food, that's poor nutrition.
A third of Malawi's population is illiterate. Stuck in a cycle of endless poverty, children are condemned to reproduce their parents' lives. It leaves little space for playing games and being carefree. Malawi is party to several international conventions banning child labor, and its president, Joyce Banda, has promised to apply laws against it. But so far, progress has been slow. The economic stakes are too high, and neither the government nor the international tobacco industry seems keen to let go of this cheap workforce.
There are people who are being seen, of course, making children work. But since there's no clear regulation and no clear fines, everybody just sees it as normal. So nobody has ever been really fined to say that you are making the child work and you are denying the child their right to education, or you're exposing them to dangerous things by your work, or your work is hazardous to the children.
While there are some independent NGOs working in this field, this one sends social workers into villages to advise farmers on health and education. Most are sponsored by the tobacco industry.
Malonje ni awapereka ta musangani pano amama. Kwenda umoyo wa bana kuona umoyo wemi wa bana. So tankumba katifumbe kuti kasi wana wetu waliuli.
Osiwari makora. Ngoro adukwa nyake koso kwenda nakenda nacho.
Wati. Kwa hiyo mzinyumba mnyake mundaonepo chana nyengo sono hona vingoma.
Sono na munadi wachacha society samizira pafupi vanandi sono vana umanyiro kuti kumgwisa mwana nchito pamberi uku ni mwana wa skulu pamberi wana.
Okay.
Every major tobacco company outwardly condemns child work, and many finance re-education programs for child laborers. But critics say this does little to change a situation that companies benefit from.
So there is masquerading around the issue to say that they are doing something, but definitely the issue is real. Nothing really is happening. And so to ease their consciences, that's why they have this kind of stuff to say that we are fighting child labor. And then when they sell their own products and when they buy their own products on the market, the profits that they make, what they give out in corporate social responsibility to these people, to these organizations, is nothing at all compared to what they make. And what the privation of the future to these children, what is being made, it cannot equal what they put into the money that they put in.
But education alone will make little difference. The whole production system needs to do without child labor. Malawi's agricultural economy needs to diversify and its farmers to adapt. Some initiatives like this fair trade tea plantation have tried to find a better way to treat employees and the environment. Here, child labor is forbidden. Marita, a young mother from the south of Malawi, has been working here for 3 years.
Mm.
3,000 laborers work on this farm. Marita picks tea leaves 8 hours a day and makes 3 times as much as that of a tobacco worker.
Zimeni malingana kana zambiri. Tukani mafuna ntagula njinga, ntagula wireless, ntamanga nyumba. Zochokera mukochera mo. Ntalimbikira kugira ntchito nzagula. Malinga ndi mphamvu imene zingapezekere. Komanso ntchito ishaka chino ndichakitatu ndikugwira.
For these Malawians, working in a fair trade company gives them at least a chance of a decent life. They all have a 5-year contract, a union to defend them, and the plantation has its own clinic and its own school. The workers are fed on the work site.
Ndimakhala kuno kukasenga nyumba yo ndi ya company. Pamoyo wa munthu zovuta zimakhala zambiriro.
Her children go to school close to the house, and her husband, another tea picker, also works on the plantation.
Gona kusitheka chifukwa kwathu ndrama imakhala itimalandira pa 49 nayo yonse kutha kwa sabata imodzi yachiwiri kulandira ndiye tinaona kuti ndama kenali osasungika bwinobwino kumabwera ndibwere kuno tinasiyanisako. Ine ndiliko bwino chifukwa amene ali ku estate ya Fodya amadikira kutha kwa season apasidwa ndalama pamene ine mwezi unauli wonse ndimalandira ndalama.
And the company is doing well. It produces 3.5 million kilos of tea per year and sells its output to fair trade brands across Europe. Now it's encouraging other Malawians to diversify and to replace tobacco with tea as an income crop.
In that way, we can have more factories, and the community surrounding, the states, they can be selling, their produce, to the factory, so that you see that product will sustain, every farmer in this part of northern region. But you see, this must have, the government will politically. That's the only way for Malawi to go.
For now, the government continues to give priority to the tobacco production to generate much-needed funds. Over the last 3 years, the trade has bought in around $50 million a year. In Lilongwe, the capital, when the auction ceremony opened, the president, Joyce Banda, reaffirmed her priorities.
There is a huge demand for it on the world market. My government will therefore continue to promote the production of fruit-cured tobacco.
This event is broadcast on local media, with the whole country eagerly following price fluctuations. Over the past 4 months, sacks of tobacco have been brought to the auction house. Around 180,000 tons of tobacco are produced in Malawi each year. Almost all of the end product will be bought by 3 main companies: British American Tobacco, Philip Morris, and Japan Tobacco. They have just 3 seconds per bag to decide on a bid. The marathon trek along the rows takes several hours, and more than 8,000 bags can be bought in one day. The minimum price set by the Malawi Tobacco Commission is very low.
With the system of tenancy system, the little farmers have no say over the pricing of the tobacco. So the companies charge as they want. Our tobacco, of course, as it goes now on the market, is to be the cheapest, because the companies dictate most, and the system of production here is cheap labor.
A kilo of Malawi tobacco is sold at 50 cents, 3 times cheaper than in neighboring Zimbabwe or Zambia. Prices are set in dollars, but producers are paid in local currency. Some farmers see their work sold for almost nothing.
Timangona kuti apa mafotokoza kuti ati pangeza kuti ferima panga zomwezo malingana ngasi mavura amene tili nawo pathupi lathu. Ndiye Fodya amene umadalira kudzapezeka kuti apapo wagwanayo. Ndiye chimene chimapatsa chisoni kwambiri chifukwa pamene ambiri amakhaloni utalinana ku sukulu yanchani.
On one side of the room, farmers who took out a loan at the beginning of the season wait to learn their fate. In the end, they have to give their whole harvest to their creditors just to pay their debts.
Ndiyebe mwina patakha kuti mwina pali njira ina yake kuti pachiwati mali ntchuwa zitha konsekose. Aliyense azisangalala wina sazisangalala ndiye kuti mwina moyo munthu mwina ukhoza umakhala uli bwino ndithu.
For now, that's not likely to happen. But anti-smoking campaigns in the developed world are having an impact, and they threaten Malawi's fragile economy. In 3 years, profits from tobacco exports have dropped by almost half. But the downturn may also be just the spur the country needs to diversify its economy and get its children out of the fields and back into school.